everyone. It's Sean Zane, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. This is live number 53 on the year, and I have it as an open forum. So again, if you are not a subscriber, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check it out, Connection Machine. It's very simple, youtube.com, Connection Machine. Today is going to be the open forum, and you want to come on, discuss your business, talk about what you do, so my community can get to know you, share your contact information, and we can just have a conversation. I would love to have 3 or 4 of you on the screen at the same time, and we can drop some major value. So right now, I want to make sure I put the link in this live so that if you are interested in joining, we will make sure you come on. So the link is right in the live itself. Let me come back in here. I hope I have, again, between 3 to 5 people that are interested in taking their business to the next level using social media. I need to also make sure that the live is ready to go. It looks like we are looking good. Let me set this up. I have a bunch of you on right now, which is awesome. If you are on right now, please hit the wow button, drop a comment, #live, what kind of business you're involved in, and don't forget to hit that share button. The share button is huge because it actually opens up the portal for other people to get to know who we are, exposure, guys. So that's what we're all about, making sure that we're helping as many people as possible. You got to make sure your privacy on this, if you're on StreamYard, goes to public. That's what I'm making sure I have right now. And I'm going to make sure that I share this into a couple different groups so that those that are watching, we can get you to come on. So I have it in the Connection Machine group. I want to share in a moment. I'm going to put into some local communities, making sure that those interested in going to the next level, in that link I have in the comments below, you can come on the screen. I'll put it here. Actually, that's a YouTube channel. This one right here, StreamYard.com with the code. And let's have at least 3 to 5 people that want to get outside the comfort zone. I don't have a hat on today, guys. A lot of you have complaints or excuses of getting in front of the camera. Oh, I don't like the way I look, the way I sound, I don't have the content. All BS. It's all excuses. I haven't had a haircut in weeks now. I've been wearing hats recently, constantly. But it's something that I would love to make sure that you get out of your comfort zone. Stella, I would definitely, let me drop this. I love this. It's like a little TV show. Want to talk about going back to work and what companies need to do? Sure. Drop in the comments. Let's have you come on for sure. Stella, I appreciate you taking some time out. I'm here to give a little bit more exposure to you. And if you are one that hasn't been in front of the camera, put something on. I'm wearing shorts right now with my polo. I did my hair for you. Let's have you get on with us and share some tips, some strategies. I'm just right now, again, putting in different groups so those that are out there can get our messages across. Let's see who's on right now. I'm going to open this up here. We have Diane Rodriguez. What's going on? Mom and Dad are in Care One. They reunited yesterday. Just so everyone, before we even get started, my parents are at Care One in Wayne, New Jersey, and they are doing excellent. So they're reunited. They're not in the same room, but my father went in the wheelchair and went to meet up, and they have some pictures that they were holding hands together. First time in 7 weeks. 7 weeks they have been in the hospital, and they're working hard to get out. They are, getting into the mode of, getting their legs back and being able to be more mobile. And it's a crazy journey they've been on. I have Stella jumping on. I have Sean Abrams jumping on. I have a couple other ones. This is what it's all about, guys. So let me bring on Stella. Hey, Stella, how are you? Great to see you. Can you hear Stella?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Nice to see you.
To see you. I love the background. I love it. digital, or what is going on?
I'm very fancy. So I'm learning how to use StreamYard. I recently, so I use a program called XSplit. So that way it actually acts like my camera, and it only works with Firefox, by the way. So the way it works is that becomes my camera, and I can change the background to any streaming that I want. That makes me feel good.
Special. That's great. I have my background. I have actual physical backgrounds
I
to
know.
make sure it's looking good too. So, for those who
You're
are out there, can you give us a little introduction of who you are?
Sure. So I'm Stella Lemberg. I am, my family owns an insurance agency in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, but I have been Zooming and having calls all day, learning about what's going on with, businesses opening it up. So I thought it would be a great topic for your viewers to talk about, not necessarily insurance and what I do, but what are they doing to plan for the next 90 days. And
I like it.
the one thing I must say, people are looking to tomorrow or next week. My plan is already 90 days out. What do I see for my employees to come back to work? Now, my insurance agency has 9 employees, and it's not a large agency, but I don't want them to come back unless they're fully ready. I want to make sure that not only are they emotionally prepared to come back to work, but are my facilities. What does my lease look like? So I'm reviewing my lease with my landlord. Well, I'm reviewing the lease that the landlord provided. Um, and there are terms in your lease. If you have an office space, you should take a look at it. It says, what does the cleaning company, what are they going to do for you? And when we moved in here, it was assumed that they're going to be doing an actual cleaning every day. That's what the wording sounded like. They're going to wipe down our tables. They're going to vacuum. So we moved in here, and in short, what they do is they take out the garbage. There's no dusting. There's no wiping down. There's nothing. So once a month, we have a deep cleaning of the office. That's no longer acceptable. So we're going to go back to our landlord saying, with the new changes, we're going to have to renegotiate this portion of our lease. Mm-hmm. So for anybody that's watching that has a business, you really need to go back to your landlord that provides cleaning services and say, hey, I'm going to have to pay up front for these costs. How can you add? You already have somebody coming every week. How can we leverage that? How can we leverage what's happening and make it easier and better without adding extra expenses to my company, which is already, struggling due to the coronavirus? So whether you're an office space or a restaurant, you have to look at, what does opening mean? And where do you see yourself 90 days from now? What is your ideal picture 6 months from now? And I know things will change and it's hard to predict, but try to stay in front of it. So, for example, being a small agency, we are predominantly commercial lines, so we don't have that many walk-in clients. But if you're an insurance agency, a mortgage office, or something that was high traffic, you need to have sanitation stations at all common areas. When they first walk in, what does that look like for you? So that's kind of what I want people who are watching to think about. What does my tomorrow look like? And can I safely open without discriminating? That's number one. So just to back it up, a last call that I was on, the lawyer was discussing, okay, I'm opening it up, but if you're 65 and over, for your own safety, stay home. It's okay. You can work from home. Well, guess what? That's discrimination. That's age discrimination. So you may think you're doing your employees a favor by adding different measures or creating different rules, but just be careful also with the type of rules that you're making. by saying, oh, you know what, John, you're old, so
Yeah.
you have to you should wear a mask while in the office. But you know what, Jason over there, no, he doesn't have to. John, you have to wear a mask. You're old. Yeah, that's not. You need to have. You need to come up with guidelines that are streamlined
Across
for
the
your
board.
health, across the board, and that are not discriminating. And these are things that I guess your heart is in the right place. You want John to be safe, but you have to also abide by the employer laws and regulations.
I
So
think
I
this is
have
an
a
important value for sure.
yeah.
And I want to bring somebody on. I don't know if you ever met him before. He's in the background. What's going on, Sean Abrams? What's up, my man?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
Sean and Sean. This is
I know it's a tag team of Sean.
That's it. Stella was just talking about, how, making sure 90 days out, everything's going to be safe for when people get back into business, etc. What is your rationale as far as, well, I appreciate Stella. Stella never did video before, many weeks ago, right? And now all of a sudden she's starting to do video, and how important that is to business and getting out of your comfort zone.
Because of you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Let's make sure that's that's set out there. Is because I keep watching your lives and I keep saying, Sean is really killing it, man. I really just, I gotta get past that fear aspect. And I even right now I'm nervous. Like I feel.
That's part of it, And now I connected with Sean Abrams, and he's killing it with video as well. And he's talking about what's going on in his mindset. You want to, for those that don't know who Sean is, if you don't know who Sean, can you give us a little intro of who you are?
Yeah, sorry, my phone's going bonkers all of a sudden. So no, I actually do. Personally, I'm just the person that I got a little feedback. Is that
there is some feedback? Anyone have some volume? I'm going to turn mine down. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm just the person who went through some issues personally and decided to make a change, right? And come out on the other side. But my day job is actually medical distribution. So when you're talking about going back to work, that really rang home for me because I'm trying to help people get PPE protection issues, right? There's no supply chain out there. It's been very nuts and crazy, and it's just we'll talk about that later. And then on the side, we do health coaching, right? So I work with Sean, and we try to help people just kind of change their game and get their fitness on, especially now when you're talking about how are you prepping the next 90 days, because immune systems are very big at this point, right? Because COVID attacks our entire immune system. So if you can get that right, you'll just be better off going forward. So it's kind of what I do in a nutshell.
Essential roll-ons to help with anxiety.
There you go.
Immune support, my supplements, vitamin D, fish oil, all that stuff, trying to prevent, because we've been stuck at home for so long that our immune system is at this point needs boosting.
Yes, 100%. I agree.
And I think using health and getting your body right, it helps with everything across the board, personally, professionally. Gives you more energy. It gets you get things more done in a day. So if you align that properly, no matter what it is. I mean, I'm doing boxing right now. I have the rest of this week, and then I'm getting into some other work. The work is the program I'm going to get involved with. But it's keeping yourself moving and getting yourself active and drinking your water and eating healthy. These are all things that people should be doing. That's for sure. But
yeah, I was listening to a live yesterday from Lewis Hose, and he had a guy named Jim Quick on there, and Jim put it on, and I'm gonna absolutely botch this, but I'm gonna hope the idea across. He put out there, like, if you're not pouring energy into your day, you're not going to have the energy to pour into your day. And so that's just my quick way of responding to it. But it absolutely made sense. Like the more you can put into yourself and the more you can pour into your cup, as we always talk about, that's that cliche phrase, helps you get through those times when you're nervous or anxious or, you know, just wanting to push through some sort of growth stage that you need to go through.
it's important to continue trying different things. And that's why I try to do these open forums, to try to get people out of their comfort zone. When you do things that you're not used to doing, it makes you grow. It makes you appreciate things. You become a better presenter, a better speaker when you are, practicing and using video and you're in front of people. People say, oh, I don't want to be live. What happens if I say the wrong thing? We're human beings, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people on this live right now, not to make Stella all nervous, but there's people on that. I ask those, and it's so simple to come on with us. If you are a business owner and you're watching right now and you're taking some time out of your day, come on with us. Let's shoot the shit, have a great time, give some value so that people know who you are, because a lot of people get stuck behind the computer. They get stuck behind the text message, the email. They don't have the personal connection. Sean and I will have meetings, and I'm sure you're doing this, Stella, as well. You said you had Zoom meetings, Messenger call, video calls, StreamYard video calls, and actually seeing each other, and then take a picture so you prove that you had the call and put it out on social media.
So the one thing I must say people are discounting is all the free information that's out there. Like the call I was on with the law firm today that we had mentioned, just talking about the legality behind opening. So I'm looking at what do I need to open, but they're bringing a new aspect to me, and that was all free. I was in a completely free webinar today, and all because, I just look for the information. So it's important people are not just, learning and what they're doing and having blinders on to what's going on around them. It's important that they're learning and growing. This is the growth time. You're stuck. Just use this time. There's so many free resources right now. What do you want to do different?
I'm ear to ear with that phrase. This is growth time. This is separation time, right? Yeah, I love it.
That's why I went out of my comfort zone. I went now 2 weeks ago and did my very first live interview. And now I have it set for every Friday at 12:30. I'm doing a brand new, topic and different connections, and just pushing myself through to plan and how can I better myself and my business, but yet get digital, because don't be afraid of trying new things. And this is the growth period, like I said, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm like scared, but I can't be behind the shadows. That's not how I'm going to grow.
Yeah, and the good thing is that as you try those new things, learning new example, right? You might quote unquote fail or actually just not get through that, but that tells you, all right, well, what are the 3 things that I could have done better? And then the next time you do it, you just push right through it, right? And you just crushed it.
Sean, what does it say in your background? Say fear. I can't read it fully.
Oh yeah.
Face everything and run, right? No, it should be face everything and rise.
Fear, face everything and rise.
So people say forget everything and run. That's not what we want to be. Facing everything and rising is the goal for sure.
I love it. It resonates very much with me and what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I got that from a guy named the Mike Diamond. You can follow him on Instagram. It's _Diamond. He's actually a interventionalist for anybody going through substance abuse or anything like that. He actually was on, I believe it was Miami Ink. or Vegas Ink. or one of those tattoo shows. He was kind of co-creator of it. And he's just awesome, inspirational dude. So I would definitely recommend anybody to follow him because he's got all sorts of good stuff. He's got one that's the stop method. So anytime you're facing those fears, right, and you're like, how do I do this? Or what's going on? Basically, you should just stop, take a breath, observe what's going on and what your actions are, and then proceed.
So my next thing is, so we don't do any type of email I don't do any touch points really with my clients besides calling whenever they have an issue and they reach out to us. I'm trying to develop a marketing campaign for us in that aspect, just to our current clients. And the reason I mention it is, as soon as I start these new projects, I get scared and I'm like, okay, forget it. Let's just do it next week. Let's just do it. No, it's not the right time. And just excuse. So today was also about just nailing it down, putting a deadline on for myself, my calendar, and saying, this is going to happen now. Okay. But the back of my mind, that little voice says, no, you're going to fail. Just don't do it. And I keep reminding myself, you're telling people it's the growth stage. Do what you say. So
I have an idea for you, Stella. If
okay.
you want to go with this and use social media, is you have all the emails for your clients, right?
Mhm.
Set up a group specific to your clientele, and you could drip, and you give education, you give value in this group that's only your clients.
Well, I never
That could
thought
be
about that.
powerful.
Yeah, and another good way is MailChimp. I've been playing around with that, and it's a great free program, and it's easy to use, and it makes
Well, that's what I'm
yeah.
going with. And I have a company helping me with content. So if somebody has a home policy, not auto, and whatever, the whole if then model that they're working with me, and they're talking to me on the phone earlier this morning, and I'm like, okay, this sounds overwhelming. Just run, just run. And that's my desire, just like, okay, thank you, bye. But I'm like, okay, what's the deadline for this, for the first step? Let me write it down. I want to be held accountable. Please hold me accountable because I'm a runner. I have commitment phobia. It just
That's out there. A lot of people have that. That's not just you. It's just things
so
that a human trait.
Yeah, and honestly, that fear, just your body and your mind saying, "Hey, you just need to kind of think about it a little bit different, right? Instead of running next time, honestly, just attack it. Instead of putting it off till the deadline, just do it right now while you're thinking about it, and then done. And don't worry about reading it; just send it."
That's
yeah, it's
a
basically
fear that people have with doing video, and they'll shoot a video, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like it," and they stop it and they re-record it. It's like, no, hit record, rock out a content, a topic, and then send it out. You don't want to edit it like crazy.
that's what
There's
I do
people
all the
like
time.
right now watching, and I like to put people on blast, but I won't. But I gave a link. The link is in the comments. I would love for another person to jump on with us before we leave, because just doing this puts yourself into a different realm. Other people are seeing you. I do post a lot with Sean, and we've been. I've posted with Stella. She's come to events in the past, and how powerful that is. But getting outside your comfort zone is huge. Jazz Holmes, hey everyone, what's going on? I don't know who you are, but we're gonna say hey. Are you one that does real estate? You want to jump on? Go to the link. I posted it in the comments. Let's have you come on and talk, because this is the way to network. This is the way you should be, putting yourself out there, educating, giving value, so others learn from you. That's what I always try to do.
You were talking about that free stuff you're getting from the lawyers. What were they saying from liability standpoint? Because that's one thing I've been thinking about, is just what are the business's liabilities in bringing people back to an office setting?
Documentation. That was a huge that was a huge buzzword throughout the call. Document everything, because contact tracing is your responsibility, and the liability falls on the business. So if I have 9 employees and I bring back 50%, or I guess as close as possible. It's not possible to do 50%, but you get the drift. I have to document any staff that come in contact with each other, which is easy to do, but any clients that come into our office, which office do they go to? Who do they have contact with? That is the burden of that comes to the company. So let's say one of my employees gets sick. I need to have a daily timeline documented of who came in and who was this person exposing, is basically what they were explaining.
Wow. No wonder why. I mean, my company shut us down until September, actually. As of right now, we have 40,000 employees across the world, right? So that makes more sense of why. One, they don't want to rush it because there's no reason to if we're still being productive at home and being able to do our jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 2, the liability of having to document that. How the heck do you do that across, let's just say, 10,000? I mean, you're trying to think of it just from a 10-person office, right? And now
Exactly.
now you expand it to 15 offices or whatever it should be. I mean,
To have to hire somebody just to have a role for contact tracing. It's creating a job, I guess, for somebody for large offices, or creating a responsibility for maybe an HR person. But even then, we're human. Things can get missed. It's how do you document everybody? That means each person that has a cubicle that may have a visitor, they have to write down a daily. I can't imagine. I'm just trying to conceptualize how it would play out for a big office.
I know a lot of the hospitals use like a vendor mate system, so I'm sure there's going to be some sort of technology solution that will plug and play into like a CRM or a PeopleSoft or whatever. What is it, WeWork or whatever the HR functions are now. So I could only imagine there's some sort of plug-in, but at the same time, still need that technology at a station for everybody to log in. Still got to scan the people when they come in, technically, right? To make sure
maybe everybody will have to have a receptionist. You can't get past through this point until you'll have to tell them your blood type before you can enter the office. I don't know.
Now, this has been fun, guys. What is a final thought you would like to share with the community, Stella?
The final thought is just continue planning, continue growing. Don't look back to this time period and think, oh, I just moped around and did nothing. Use this, read something that not just inspires, but helps you grow. An ebook or an audio book, or read a physical book if you have the ability. I have 3 little kids. For me, it's audiobook. So keep growing, keep planning, and get out of your comfort zone.
Thank you, Stella. Sean, would you like to add anything, or what is your final thought?
She hit all my things on, right? I mean, that's everything I like to talk about.
Sorry.
The only thing hey, we're having a 3-day sugar detox starting tomorrow. So if anybody out there is looking to kind of get on their health game and kind of look at eating whole foods and boosting your immunity, and we're doing that in a free private group. So hit us up and we'll send you the messages. But that's what we got going on this weekend. And be safe out there, because I know we're preparing for a holiday weekend and all sorts of other things going on. I don't know. I believe your beaches are opening up out there too. So
yeah, they're opened up, but it's going to be.
I have a travel agent on Friday talking about if anybody's interested in renting a villa and other ways of traveling in 2020 into 2021. What she thinks will happen. So it'll be on Friday at 12:30.
I'm interested in that because I'm sure international travel is still shut down, I believe. So. I mean, what happens and how does that look like? Like, if you got a country, can you ever get back? Like, it's going to be an interesting, like, whole psychological aspect to this thing as we start to come out of it. So,
I'm excited. I have like a page full of questions for her already. So I want to know, because I was supposed to travel for my wedding anniversary, June 2nd to June 7th. It was our 10-year anniversary, and I said, oh, I'm so, we've been planning for it. I've been so excited. We had to cancel it, and I asked her, I'm like, when can we go again? When can I start planning?
Well, congratulations.
2021.
Yeah, I know. We were, my wife's birthday was a couple of weeks ago. We were supposed to be in Costa Rica, and yeah, we didn't get there. So at least we'll find something else to do, right?
It was nice meeting you, Sean. Sean squared.
Stella, thank you. Sean, thanks so much.
Thanks, Sean.
Hope everyone that was watching, gained some major value. And if they're interested, definitely, Sean, drop some comments with your contact information, Stella as well, and get outside your comfort zone. So have yourself an awesome day, guys.
Bye, everyone.
See y'all.